Hi, my name's James Cochrane. I work on the partnerships team at what3words, and today I want to give you an introduction to our technology and how you can use it within ArcGIS. So to run through what I'm going to cover in this session, I wanted to touch on the problem that we're trying to solve at what3words, give you an introduction to our technology and how it works, a bit of background about our company and the various sectors that we work in, then go into a demonstration of how the what3words locator works in ArcGIS, and lastly go into a bit more detail on some of the use cases for this piece of technology. So the best place to start is with the problem that we're trying to solve at what3words, and that is that today there are lots of challenges with the ways that you can communicate precise location around the world. The most obvious problem is that there are lots of places in the UK and around the world that simply don't have an address. So if you're on a long stretch of road out in the countryside or on a long stretch of the coastline on a beach, all of these places may have a place name, but if you're trying to communicate an exact location within them, it can be a real challenge. Even when we do have a street address, there can be problems that we run into on a daily basis. To give a few examples, if you're going to a large building like a shopping centre or a stadium, that building will have one street address, and that will drop a pin right in the middle of that building, which is not hugely helpful when you're trying to find one of the multiple entrances, delivery entrances, or emergency access points around that large site. Similarly, we've got problems in the UK and around the world with duplicate street names. So if I told you to meet me on Church Road in London, there's actually 14 church roads in London alone and thousands around the UK. So unless you know the area well and you can remember the full postcode, it can be very difficult to know which one you're referring to. And then you've got the common problem of street address databases needing to be constantly updated. For new buildings, it can take anywhere from a few weeks to a number of months for that address to be updated and for you to be able to have your deliveries delivered to that building, whether it's a new office block or a new flat that you've recently moved into. Another problem that we come across in the countryside here in the UK is if you type something like Harnage Farm into Google Maps, again, Google will drop a pin on the main building there, which is useful, but when you're trying to communicate the location of one of the 5 or 6 outbuildings, there's no easy way for me to do that at the moment. Now, I'm sure most of these problems will be familiar to most people, and you're probably thinking there is a solution out there today, and there is, of course. The best possible solution for communicating a precise location is a GPS coordinate. GPS coordinates are incredibly precise and they are universal, so they work anywhere in the UK or around the world. The problem with a GPS coordinate is that it's very difficult for you or I to remember and communicate a string of 16 numbers without making a mistake. So it's not the most human-friendly system. So that's what we wanted to do with what3words. We wanted to create a system which is just as precise as a GPS coordinate, but much more human-friendly. So what we've done is we have divided the whole world into a grid of 3 metre by 3 metre squares and given every single square in the world a fixed and unique address made of 3 words from a dictionary. So what this means is rather than having to use a string of 16 numbers to refer to that exact location in Gloucestershire, all I need to say is scatters, month, yawned, and that's all the information that I need. So whether I'm talking about a spot in Gloucestershire, a picnic spot on this beach in Bournemouth, a park in central London, or trying to communicate the location of an asset, whether it's a tree that needs to be felled, an electricity pylon or cabinet on the street, or the entrance to a construction site which might not yet have a fixed street address, All of these places can now be found very easily using 3words. To explain a little bit more about how it works in practice, we have a free what3words app and website. What these tools allow you to do is discover the 3-word address for anywhere in the world. So if you zoom in, you'll see the grid appears. You can click on a square and discover the 3 words for that location. You can also search for a 3-word address by either typing, speaking, or scanning it into the app, and you can navigate to that exact location using any of the navigation apps you've got downloaded on your phone. Another really important thing to point out about the what3words app is that it works completely offline. So you can be anywhere in the world, not have any data signal at all, and always find the 3 words for your current location. So really important to point out that we're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. All our technology does in the back end is takes a long string of numbers of a GPS coordinate, converts it into a 3-word address, and vice versa. So it's a very simple piece of technology. And one important thing to point out about how we've designed the system is that we wanted to make it as user-friendly as possible. So in order to make it easy to spot mistakes, what we've actually done is intentionally shuffle similar sounding words as far away from each other in the world as possible. So if you make a small mistake, either you mishear something over the phone or radio, you misspell it or you mistype it when entering it into another device, our technology can recommend, based on your current location, you probably meant a certain address over another one. This makes it really easy to spot mistakes and guarantee that you're always going to end up with the right location. Another thing to point out about what3words is we are a British company based in London, so we started with English. What that means is the whole world has been mapped using English words, so I can be in London or Sydney or Tokyo and find my way around using 3 English words. What we've now done is roll this out to 44 other languages so far. So the idea being that ultimately anyone can use what3words in their native language, not have to speak the local language or understand the local addressing system. To give you a bit more detail about us as a company, by nature of the concept, we work across a whole range of different industries, everything from travel and tourism, where we work with hotel chains and travel guides who want to give their customers the best possible experience by providing the 3-word address for the exact 3-metre square of the front door of their hotel, rather than just the street address or postcode. We also do a lot of work with companies who want to build what3words into their own systems. So car companies like Mercedes-Benz have built us into their sat-navs to allow you to either speak or type a what3words address into the head unit, and it will recognize that as a location and you can navigate directly to that point. We also do a lot of work with logistics and delivery companies who want to improve their efficiencies by being able to deliver to the exact 3-metre square of someone's front door rather than delivering to a postcode or street address which might be inaccurate. Lastly, we do a lot of work with infrastructure companies and emergency services to help them improve their day-to-day operations, which I'm happy to go into a little bit more detail further on. Now, before I talk about those use cases, I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of how the what3words locator works within the ArcGIS platform. You can use the what3words locator throughout the ArcGIS suite wherever a custom locator can be added, including desktop, ArcCatalog and ArcMap, as well as ArcGIS Pro. On web, you can also use the locator within ArcGIS Online, and any products able to connect to online like Survey123. The locator gives you the ability to convert to and from coordinates, or more commonly known within ArcGIS as forward-reverse geocoding. Functionality does vary a bit by ArcGIS product, so I'm going to take you through a few different demos across the platform. Firstly, I'm going to show you the various functions of the locator in ArcGIS Online. The what3words address search should appear in the search box within the ArcGIS online map. Selecting all will allow a user to search for a 3-word address or a traditional address. Once you search, you'll be shown suggestions using what3words auto-suggest. As you can see, it's recommending results after you start typing the third word. Once you select an address, the map will pan to the 3-word address, as you can see. Within ArcGIS Online, you can also add a CSV file containing 3-word addresses and other attributes so that the 3-word addresses are plotted as a point layer on the map. First, create a CSV file with a column of 3-word addresses and fields of other data that can be displayed alongside the 3-word address. This can be done in Excel or a text editor. Here's an example file. If you drag and drop the file onto the map, select to locate features by addresses or places, select the what3words locator. In the field list, you will then need to select the field containing the 3-word addresses and select the what3words locator against this field. Then click Add Layer. All other fields of data in the CSV file are also carried through to the layer. After applying the style to the layer appears in the contents pane on the left-hand side and can then be used within spatial analysis or published for other users to access, all within web mapping applications. In ArcGIS Online, you can also publish web apps which allow you to share a map and layers with your users. As an example, we've created a map to display which emergency services in the UK accept a 3-word address on a 999 call. I'll explain a little more about this use case after the demo. As you can see, you can customize the web app. Where the what3words appears under search, you can also play around with the settings. Once you save this, it allows you to create a map to share with other colleagues or public users. For demonstration purposes, I'll search a 3-word address in the map here by typing in filled count soap. For those of you wondering why I keep using that address, filled count soap is the 3-word address for our office here in London. In ArcGIS Pro, you're also able to search for a 3-word address as well as carry out batch conversions of coordinates to 3-word addresses and 3-word addresses to coordinates. Here you can see how to search for a 3-word address just like in ArcGIS Online. This can be a really useful way of locating faults or emergencies when reported by the public, colleagues or field engineers to your control room or contact center teams. One feature that's available within ArcGIS Pro that isn't within Online is the ability to discover a 3-word address on the map. If you click on the map and select the What's Here option, this will then display all addresses from the available locators. If you select the what3words result, you can view the 3-word address and coordinates for that location. So hopefully that gives you a good overview of how the what3words locator works across the ArcGIS platform. To finish off, I wanted to run through some of the core use cases for this integration, with particular reference to emergency services, utilities, local government and infrastructure companies. Of course, there's a long list of ways that what3words can be used within ArcGIS by each of these sectors, but I wanted to call out some of the main use cases that have come out of our partnerships over the years. These can largely be separated into 2 main buckets: emergency response in the context of blue light services, or incident reporting in the context of other local authorities and utilities, followed by the day-to-day management of assets. Firstly, we started with our work with emergency services back in August 2018 and are now working with more than 80% of services in the UK across police, fire, ambulance and Coast Guard. This means that if a member of the public calls 999, they can provide a 3-word address over the phone. For those callers who don't already have the what3words app downloaded, the call operator can also send them a text message with a link that, when clicked, displays the 3 words for their current location, which they can then read back while on the call. This is called the what3words Find Me link. We're now working hard to make sure that 100% of services are trained and enabled as soon as possible. Call handlers can enter the 3 words provided into computer-aided dispatch systems or directly into the ArcGIS map to display the location of the incident and deploy the relevant resources to the exact right place. Emergency services can also use the what3words locator to help with pre-planned operations and events where they need to quickly communicate locations on the ground, possibly in an area which doesn't have a fixed address, like a festival or flooded area. What this use has led to is lots of amazing stories of how what3words has successfully been used to respond to emergencies all over the country. And these services are now using our technology on a daily basis. Alongside this, what3words is now also being used by utilities, construction companies, local councils, national parks and transport authorities like Network Rail to help keep lone workers safe and make communicating locations in the field a bit more efficient. The need to communicate the location of incidents is also very relevant to these organisations, who are often responsible for managing critical infrastructure in rural parts of the country. In many cases, even when in a city, an asset like an electricity pylon, pothole, street cabinet or fly tip are in places where a postcode or street address won't provide a very accurate location. In these cases, what3words is a really good solution, giving a member of the public and internal teams the ability to report the exact location of damage or something that needs to be attended to. Many councils are now integrating what3words into their web apps to let the public provide a 3-word address for these types of incidents, as you can see from the example on the screen. As well as integrating into web apps, contact centre staff, like emergency call operators, can also be trained to accept a 3-word address over the phone or request one using the what3words Find Me link. Again, the 3-word address can be entered into the ArcGIS map to relate the incident to the nearest piece of critical infrastructure. This cuts call times dramatically for those hard-to-locate calls in rural or remote areas where someone is struggling to provide an accurate location. In the case of one of our early adopters, UKPN, this training has actually decreased call times from an average of over 12 minutes to under 4, meaning that dangerous fallen power lines can be located and isolated quickly in order to make the area safe again. Finally, the what3words locator is now widely used as a way of supporting the day-to-day management of assets. Whether it's water pumps, park benches, street lights, or access points and gates, all of these locations can be hard to communicate easily between teams on the ground. what3words provides a really simple way for these locations to be passed over the phone, radio, or through internal integrated systems. As an example, Skanska has integrated the what3words locator in ArcGIS Online to display the exact 3-word addresses for all of its office and depot locations around the UK. Alongside these integrations, physical signage can also incorporate what3words to make the relaying of these locations back into ArcGIS even easier. The example on the screen shows Lee Valley Park outside London, who've added these signs all over the park for quick visual reference points. So that really takes us to the end of the video. I hope this has given you a useful introduction to what3words and how it can be used in the ArcGIS platform. As we are continually growing our work with emergency services, utilities, local authorities, and other infrastructure companies, we'd love to hear from anyone interested in learning more. For more information, check out our website at esri.what3words.com, or if you have any questions, then please feel free to reach out to the email on screen, and I'd be really happy to chat.